Hi everyone, welcome to episode 4 of the RWBY Volume 8 reactions. Without further ado, we're just going to get started. I've got my headset, I've got my whole setup, got a little cup of tea here, so we are just going to get started right now. 2. So, there's after last week's episode, there's something else to I've kind of noticed in the opening, but we'll get to that as it kind of rolls along. I gave the third episode a second watch over the week, and it's the same because while I was kind of talking over the fight scene that they had with the Aesops, it was a good example of seeing the Aesops properly fight together against like an enemy that's not the Grimm. Because we saw them like fight Team RWBY like at the end of like Volume 7, but it was like a member of each of Team RWBY, so it was like Marrow versus Wise, Elm versus Blake, and then Yang, and then Vine versus again Blake and Yang, and Harriet against RWBY. But it was seeing the 4 of them fight against Winter. It was cool seeing their kind of team dynamic, like very like kind of helping Marrow from the bridge, and kind of using their semblances to work off each other. So one thing I kind of noticed from this opening, and it'll show right at the very end, is we saw how like Pietro kind of like worked through Penny, and kind of like when her eyes turned yellow, that was kind of Pietro taking over. When Penny eventually like inevitably gets hacked by Watts, I think her eyes are going to turn red, and that'll be like Watts controlling Penny through her, which I think. I'll put it here. You'll see Penny's eyes turn red, and that's her getting hacked. Isn't hindsight a bitch? Right, so we're getting to episode 4, which I think is carrying on with this. Oh,
you should have seen the look on Joanna's face.
Oh, it's Robin.
I don't think she'd ever lost a fight before that.
Oh, she's reminiscing.
At least, not fair and square.
So we're going to see more bonding between these two. And Jacques still there. Oh, I'm sorry. Is the facility's not to your liking?
Cell block entertainment. And she smiles.
Yep.
Did I win?
Hey, it's your game. I don't make the rules.
I'm sorry for what happened.
Oh, want to talk
It
about
wasn't
it?
your fault.
It was, though. I made a deal with the darkness.
It was the writer's fault.
And he paid the price.
Huh?
It's all happening so fast. But Clover wouldn't let up. Could have worked together against Tyrion.
Yeah.
Clover just...
That's what we've been saying. Sorry.
But the thing that really stings, for the first time in a while, I thought, maybe I could be around somebody, anybody, without my semblance.
You thought they would have cancelled each other out, the semblances.
Complicated. And now, it just feels like
Oh, his
a
white for the
childish
blood.
dream. Gone,
Oh, poor crow.
like everybody else.
Believe it or not, I know a little of what that's like.
What?
When people are worried you're gonna sniff out their secrets,
Ah.
they tend to push you away.
Find out their deepest,
Makes a
darkest
real
secrets.
connection difficult.
I never thought of it that way.
No, I never did that. Oh,
You don't get to keep that.
I
didn't
didn't
kill
kill
him.
him.
You keep saying that. But it was your weapon covered in his blood.
If you really
yeah,
want to
can
know
you
what
trace for
happened,
fingerprints and
Mohawk,
that?
why not open the cell and take my hand?
If I open the cell, it won't be to shake hands.
Yeah, because you don't care about the
Yeah, I
truth.
was like, why not
You
just do
want
that?
Someone to be mad at. Easier than taking an honest look at what side you're on.
Yeah. Wait,
Air, what are you doing?
what's she gonna do there?
Nothing.
I like Marrow, he's the level-headed out of all of them.
Well,
And the most
that
reasonable.
was almost exciting.
Alright, back with these folks. And Oscar's still being kidnapped.
Going to lose us in these mountains. We can't keep up.
So how's the rest of this chase gonna go? Oh no! Oh, it's running out of fuel. Or is it something
I
that...
don't know how much longer these bikes can stay stand the cold.
Right.
I'm really wishing one of us could fly right now.
Oh, it's paraglider.
Ren, going to get you up there.
Oh no, it's gonna launch him. Nice. Right. Oh, but I think this thing's still got some tricks up its sleeve. Ah. Focus, guys, focus. Ooh.
Okay, not as nice.
Slowing him down. Hold on, Ren.
Oh, I'm getting some pod racing vibes from this. Oh, it's weighing him down. Thank God for his horror. Oh, what have you got planned? She's taking the high ground. You gotta be careful when you're shooting at him, he still has Oscar. Ace's summoning Grimm. Oh, we called it! He's summoning more Grimm. Oh,
Call for backup?
yes. New song. I kind of thought it was going to do that. I thought it would call in more Grimm to like distract, like, for him to take care of while he makes his escape. Oh. Come on, Ren. Oh no. Acid gobber. Ooh. Nice jump. Haha. Oh, I don't like those things. This is a cool track. It's actually like a cool like racing level in a video game. Cliff! Oh, that was looking at looked in the trailer. Oh no, I did. Oh, nice one, Ren! 7 minutes. They got away. Yeah, it's going back to Moby Dick.
You've picked a fine time to...
Not another word. We're coming in.
Things are already bad enough after what you did to Father. Now you want us to harbor fugitives too? Our family has a reputation.
That's what you're worried about? Your reputation?
I'm just saying that we've already lost all the house staff. And Mother locked herself in her room.
Maybe you haven't figured out what's going on, Whitley, but we're busy trying to save Atlas.
Oh.
Look, our friend is hurt.
It's enough of your
Just need
shit.
a place to lay low while she rests, and then we'll be out of your way.
Fine. What do you expect me to do then?
Go to your room.
Yes, Mom.
This way.
Ruby?
I hope everyone's doing all right.
If you're worried about Yang, you could always try calling her.
That's the thing. I did.
To be fair, she's kind of dealing with stuff.
Anybody can hear me. We need transport back to Mantle.
Can they get a signal there? Doesn't look like it.
We need to get out of this weather before the cold
no.
drops our ores completely. How much farther to the outpost?
Did it go quite far?
Ren, how much?
I don't know.
He's still in a pissy mood. Time to talk, boy.
I thought you said you saw it when you were up in the air.
I did. Before I had to cut myself loose to help you guys.
Yeah, you've brought that up a couple times now. Something you need to say?
Not really. Wouldn't want to waste any more time.
No, that's not gonna work with Yang.
Hey, what is your deal?
Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm sorry things aren't going
We're
smoothly
gonna talk
enough
about
for
Ren's
you.
kind of bad mood recently.
Smoothly at all.
I hate to break it to you, but that's part of being a huntsman.
Are you kidding? We don't know the first thing about being huntsmen. We clearly weren't ready.
Guys, stop it.
Were we not ready when we saved Haven?
Oh.
When we took down a Leviathan? We got the lamp to Atlas.
And then we lost it. And after that, when we had to make real decisions, we got every single one wrong.
I'm not going to pretend
It's
like
all
we did
coming out
everything
now.
perfectly. But if we'd done nothing, things would be even worse than they are now.
How could they possibly be worse? We are stuck out here while Salem has the lamp and Oscar. We've got no plan, no army.
We've got the Maiden.
And by keeping her from opening the vault for Ironwood, we're just trapping the whole city for Salem. People are going to die because of us.
So what? We should just give Ironwood what he wants? Abandon Mantle? You think Atlas is still going to be able to float to safety now that she's here?
I don't know. But these aren't the kinds of decisions we should be making because we have no idea what we're doing.
Okay, both of you, cut it out.
I'm just saying what nobody else wants to. We're in way over our heads. Ruby is barely more than a kid. I'm just an orphan from the middle of nowhere.
Ren,
You cheated your way into bacon.
I think I've ever heard Ren talk this much. Come on. This isn't like you.
You don't think we should be huntsmen? Fine. But I'm getting out of the cult. I've still got a job to do.
Oh man.
Seriously, is your goal just to push everyone away?
This is kind of what I would see as the team dynamic being stressing.
Don't panic. We're going to be okay.
I doubt.
My long lost Ozma.
Oh boy.
Found at last.
Oh boy. You're in real trouble now.
So small, this new host of yours.
Oh.
It's a wonder my hound didn't break you.
He's the only one that's met Salem face to face so far.
It's been how many years since we saw each other like this, face to face? And nothing to say.
Kind of face to face.
I'm sorry the reunion isn't living up to your expectations.
You can pretend, boy.
That's Oscar talking.
Him. Not yet, at least.
Oh, I'm scared for our boy.
Well, perhaps you and I can have a better working relationship. Oscar, was it? The beacon relic. My forces have been unable to locate the relic beneath the school.
Oh, yeah.
If I know my Ozma, he has used some means of deception to hide its location differently than the others.
Where is it?
I need to know where it is.
There's no way in hell Osmond's going to tell her that. He'd rather sacrifice Oscar than tell her that.
Of course. He would keep that one guarded as long as possible. How about something easier then?
The question.
The password for the lamp.
He knows
The
that.
lamp is all out of questions.
Oh! No! Not the rainbow beam! Oh! That was definitely magic.
So easily.
Oh!
Like-minded souls indeed.
Ugh. I think it's
One of you
creepier when
will
she
tell me what you
smiles.
know. I don't much care if it is you or Ozma. Either way, I'll finally have the relic.
Oh, I've never seen her this.
I won't tell you anything.
Hazel?
Oh boy. Oh yeah. Hazel no like Oz. Hazel no like Ozpin.
Was for Haven Academy.
Ooh. Oh.
Everything that follows will be from our
Oh
sister.
no. It's these two again.
Your Grace,
What the hell is that?
is that?
An experiment.
What? Grimm.
So far, I'm
Speak.
pleased with the results. Did you need something, Cinder?
Yes. I want to search for the Winter Maiden. I think...
Can you hear that, my pet? She thinks. She wants. As if she's
Didn't she
done
already,
something
like,
that
ask that
warrants me
before and-
caring about either of those things.
We're just sitting and waiting. Without the maiden power, the vault means nothing. Let me claim it for you.
I will tell you when and where you are needed.
But your grace.
I'd like to think I have shown a great deal of patience over my many years walking Remnant, but I do hate repeating myself. You will remain here. Is that clear?
Oh, damn.
Yes. Yes, of course. Without you, I am nothing.
Yes, you said that. But are you actually going to stay there? So I don't think you are.
I know what she said. I just want to check on something. We'll be back before anyone realizes.
Ah,
I
that's
see if
smooth.
anything is still going on at Amity Coliseum. Salem doesn't know those children like I do. They wouldn't just
How can you not
abandon
love
a
Neil?
misguided attempt to save the world.
If she doesn't want to, I'll come.
Hey, more of Emerald.
I've been working on my semblance. I can help. I won't tell anybody.
Hey, I know you've got 2 Illusion Mirage girls now.
How much did you overhear?
Okay, so they're at the outpost. You got the furnace working.
You're right, Ren. I did cheat my way into Beacon.
I like how far you've gotten, man.
I'm glad I had people around me to help me see that I was bigger than that mistake. You've got people around you too. You don't have to force yourself to be strong. The more you hide from what you're feeling, the more alone you're going to feel. Trust me.
If anyone cares, I found a part to fix the bike.
Cool.
So, yay! Good news. For what it's worth, I'm sorry he said that to you. I know you've had to work hard to get here, Jaune.
We're all under a lot of stress right now.
Morale was low.
I used to push people away too.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you think she thinks less of me
Really?
for not helping out with Amity?
Ruby is your sister. She's always going to love you, even if you disagree with each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ruby.
Oh. She doesn't really really.
I need to get some sleep, but I can't stop thinking about Oscar.
Go on. I'll make sure Ren doesn't brood himself to death out in the cold.
Thanks. I just have a bad feeling. Things always seem to get worse before they get better.
Yeah, unfortunately that seems to be the thing with this volume. What the hell? Wait, what's up in the code? The ice is gonna break! What the hell is under the ice? Okay. Wow, that was a lot to take in, that volume. I know there was like kind of periods where I just wasn't talking, especially kind of during like the confrontation between Ren and Yang, but I was just making sure that I was hearing everything, because I felt like if I talk over this I am going to miss something. Okay, so that is episode 4. Man, that was a lot. That was like a lot of baggage, so I'm going to take a little break and we'll get right into the discussion for episode 4.
Hazel? Wait.
Not the face! Why is it always me?
Remy, sit. Speak.
Fuck!
Good boy.
Okay, not as nice.
Slowing him down! Hold on, Ren! I don't have much of a choice!
Okay, Okay, so we're back. That was a longer intermission than I was expecting, but I just ended up watching the whole episode a second time because there was a lot to talk about, and especially the scene with Salem and Oscar. As soon as the episode was done, I was just like, I have to watch that again because this is something that I've been waiting for since the trailer where they hinted that those two were finally going to meet. I had to see that again, just look, see if there was anything that I missed. But anyway, I'll start at the beginning. Episode starts back in the jail cell with Crow and Robin. One thing about this episode is we kind of go everywhere in this episode. We go out with Crow and Robin. We focus on Yang's group, Ruby's group, Salem. I think the only one we didn't quite see in this line was Ironwood, but even that we still saw some of the ASOTs, which anyway. Crow and Robin have a little chat. Crow seems to be getting kind of his funk, but he's still torn over the death of Clover, as they kind of talking about in this episode. He's just like, I thought I finally found someone I could work with who could counter my semblance, but I guess not. Robin, I mean, even kind of go into a little bit of Robin's backstory when she's saying, I can understand, like, it was hard for me to develop bonds with people because of my truth-telling semblance. It was hard to make friends with people who they think is gonna know your deepest, darkest secrets, which I thought these two have more interaction with each other. Then Watts is taken back to his cell, albeit kind of roughly, and two of the Aesops are there, Harriet and Marrow, and Robin has a kind of argument with Harriet, saying like, Crow didn't kill Clover. If you use my semblance, I'll be able to tell you the truth, which she isn't interested in. Almost looks like she's gonna start going to cell and have a little beat down with Robin. But I think Mario helped to kind of calm the situation, just let it go. Which I like Mario. He's been the most level-headed and reasonable of the group since everything went to shit. And then we go back to Yang's group, who's chasing after Oscar and the Grimm hound, which what Salem calls her, her hound or her pet. Anyway, so they chase the Grimm up through this kind of trench terrain. It was almost like something of the kind of Star Wars pod race, and it was a good use of working off each other. Like Jaune launches Ren to the air and latches onto the Grimm. And this was something that I kind of thought would happen in episode 2. Let's get that done there. This Alpha Grimm's going to try and throw out one or two new little tricks to kind of get him off, or maybe I'll call some Grimm to attack the group while it flies off with Oscar. I don't know. We'll need to see. That's right. The Hound called on more Grimm for kind of backup, which I was hoping would happen because I thought this thing was going to have more tricks up its sleeve. But it called those kind of centipedal kind of Grimm and a couple of other the normal types of Grimm. Really cool fight scene. And the music was really nice. I look forward to seeing that when the properly hearing that when the soundtrack comes out. But yeah, once they think they've gotten past all the other kind of Grimm, they reach a kind of cliff way and almost fall, and the Hound gets away with Oscar. And then, as we see in a bit, we'll come back to him. And then we cut to Schnee Manor, where Ruby's group has arrived to take shelter because Nora is still unconscious from her injuries. She's still not recovered yet. Watley answers the door and he's annoyed, not fully understanding the situation. He just cares everyone's left the house, father's been arrested, there's no more staff, so he's kind of whining and that. Weiss kind of probably puts him in place sit down, shut the fuck up, go to your room, which he begrudgingly does. So yeah, that scene was kind of short in comparison to the kind of rest of stuff that happens, especially the scene that follows after. We would cut back to Yang, Ren and Sean kind of going through the kind of the frozen wastelands heading towards the nearest outpost. And this is when we kind of see, we've kind of seen throughout all of this volume and the later parts of the last volume, we've seen kind of Ren being all angsty and his negative emotions being the better of him, and only kind of Nora's probably try and communicate and talk him off it, but Yang in this episode was no, hold on, you've been in a pissy mood throughout, for the last couple of days, we're going to talk this out. And it led to a really cool, really interesting conversation. This is probably one of my favourite moments in this volume. I had to stop talking throughout the reaction because I want to hear everything. So, as best that I can put it into words, Ren, I think everything that's gone bad has just kind of got into him. He's just like, we shouldn't be dealing with like any of this. We are not professional huntsmen. Look at like half our group. Like, Jaune, you cheated to get into Beacon. Ruby's just a kid. And Yang's like, but look at all the good we did. Like, we saved Haven. We beat that Leviathan. We got the lamp to Atlas. And Ren's just like, yeah, what's happened now? Like, Salem's got the lamp. We have not got a clue what we were doing. Every decision we've made has led us to this. Every decision we made has been wrong. And like Jaune and trying to deal with, and at least they get like, we see like Jaune and Yang and the rest of the group, they're like, okay, something bad's going to happen, but how are we going to deal with this? But Ren isn't like kind of doing that. And even he said like, we should have just like given Penny to Ironwood. Ren says like, since we came to Atlas, things have gotten so much worse. Like, every decision we made has just led to more terrible things. He even says at one point like, we should have just given like Penny to Ironwood so he could take the staff because Atlas is a set target. Which, yeah, but if you take that relic out of Atlas, it's gonna fall onto the refugee like camp, killing lots of people. So it's, and I can get like Ren's in a turn where like, I mean, like, I found like Ren's character again really kind of interesting because I am really glad that this is the kind of direction that Ren's character is kind of going in this volume, because even though I don't agree with the kind of mood that he's been being in, it makes a change from just kind of being silent all the time and kind of in the background. This is it's giving them something, this kind of volume to be in. Like, I think this volume's like been really good for like exploring more of kind of Ren's character. Like, even though he's been this kind of like negative mood for most of the volume, I kind of like that it's something rather than just him kind of being in the back silent all the time. Like, I never like that during that kind of rant, I never heard him talk that much to kind of recent memory. But anyway, I've talked about this kind of like scene long enough to the point that I'm losing track, but that was like a really good kind of confrontation between Ren and Yang and Jaune, even the point where Jaune was just like let's just kind of just get to where we're going. Like, even his positive like outlook isn't kind of helping things. And then we get to Oscar and Salem. Now, this is a scene I had to like properly watch twice so I could see kind of everything. So Osmond's just kind of like left Oscar in this kind of like just terrible situation. Well, no, that's not true. He kind of like is there at the kind of start whispering to Oscar, don't panic, everything's gonna go okay, before he fucks off and like leaves Oscar to the wolves. So like Oscar's having to deal with Salem on his own, unless, I don't know, maybe Ozpin is kind of still there in Oscar's head, helping him talk through things that we're not hearing it. That's just maybe a thing. That was cool seeing Oscar and Salem kind of interact with each other. Like, it's the first time face to face rather than kind of like visions and illusions that we've seen one of the main characters that's not a villain like have a conversation with Salem face to face. And so she's asking Oscar the questions where I was like, so this is what you look like, Ozma. Not bad. Anyway, first question she asks him is, where's the beacon relic? It's not in the school. Oscar says, I don't know. So I was like, okay, how do you answer the question to the lamp? Oscar says, I don't know, there are no questions left. Salem doesn't believe that, and he kind of shoots him with kind of like these kind of like rainbow magic, which looks like it bloody hurts. Which I imagine is the kind of magic that her and Ozma used in the kind of like original timeline. So I feel like she knows when Oscar's lying, because when she asks him the question about where's the beacon relic and he says, I genuinely don't know, she believes him. But when it came to the lamp, he says, I don't know. It was like, no, I know you're lying. So Oscar's not going to be able to bullshit as well this one, like, because Salem's going to know when he's lying. I don't know if that's, I don't know, maybe that's just because Oscar isn't a very good liar, or maybe, I could argue that she knows Ozma or Ozpin like so like for so much that she can tell when he's lying, but it's not Ozpin or Ozma that's talking, it's Oscar. Like, she even said that, it's like, I know you're pretending to be him, but even I know like it's not him in control, it's just you, it's Oscar. And then when he refuses to answer like Salem's questions, in comes Hazel, and he's still pissed off at Ozpin and just gives Oscar a big beat down, and then we're just left to, and then we're just kind of like, that's the scene there. Like, Oscar's gonna get tortured by Hazel and Salem for the next wee while. I really feel sorry for Oscar this volume. He's went from a simple farmhand to having a wizard in his head, to going on this big adventure, becoming a huntsman, travelling over Remnant, and then being kidnapped and coming face to face with the biggest bad in the world. That pear boy. And then lastly we come to the outpost where Yang's group is kind of hiding out for the night. Ren's still isn't doing any better. Even kind of Jaune was affected by Ren's word. And even Yang's saying, Yang's trying to cheer up Jaune. It's like, yeah, you cheated to get into Beacon, but look how far you've come, which I agree. And then Yang kind of like ends up with saying, like, do you think she'll think less of me, like, for not helping out with Amity? And Jaune's like, yeah, RWBY will be fine. But then Yang's like, oh yeah, RWBY, which goes to, oh, she wasn't talking about RWBY, she was probably talking about Blake, which was very kind of subtly hinted at in the first episode. And then we cut to outside where we see the ground beginning to crack. The ground of the ice, which I imagine there's something underneath there, Grimm, I imagine. So if that's the... No, I'm sorry, I forgot one more little extra thing. I forgot the bit with Cinder and Neil. That's why I need to check my notes. So after we leave Oscar, we cut back to Cinder and Neil. Cinder wants to go to Amity and like still try and gain the Winter Maiden's power. Salem was like, I tell you in the first episode, you're staying here. Cinder argues like, I want the Winter Maiden powers. Salem's just like, I tell you, no. Cinder's going to go behind like Salem's back. She's like, I know these kids, they're gonna like try and do something with that Amity Arena, and I want to go. But Neil's not kind of having any like Cinder's attitude. She's like, yeah, I'm not one to go with you. I'm still mad at you from episode 1 when you took all the credit to Salem, which by the way, I am not going behind her back. She scares the shit out of me and I'm awesome. Neil is still awesome. And then Emerald kind of shows up and is like, well, if she's not going to come with you, I will. Trade one illusion mirage girl for another. And then I think that is everything from this episode. A lot to talk about. Again, apologies if there was parts where I kind of rambled on. There was a lot to talk about in this episode, especially with the Ren kind of angst confrontation with Yang and Oscar, me and Salem. I'm pretty sure once this video is done, I'll come up with stuff like, no, I should have said that, or oh no, I didn't get that before, but now I get it now. But that's the thing, I've just watched this episode and I'm sure come episode 5 I'll have plenty more to talk about at the start of the episode. It was like, do you know what I just realised from the last episode? Or someone will tell me something in the comments where I was just like, no, you missed this thing when you were busy speaking throughout the whole video, you missed this thing. But someone will keep me right. But yeah, that is the episode. Guys, thanks so much for watching. For episode 5 I'm going to get back into my Jaune cosplay and do another like kind of cosplay reaction for this. Be sure to leave a comment down below what you thought of this episode and this reaction, and also let me know in the comments what other kind of character interactions do you want to see throughout this volume. Like, I really enjoyed the kind of Crow and Robin interaction in this episode, and especially the Yang and Ren, and of course Oscar and Salem. What other characters do you want to see interact in this volume, and what do you want them to talk about? Be sure to like and subscribe, and again, I will see you all in the next episode for episode 5 of RWBY. Until then, take care.
What do you expect me to do then?
Go to your room. I mean it. I'm very, very angry with you. I'm very, very cross. Go to your room!
I hope you never say a word.